Vayi Bayom Hashmini, beginning of the unbelievable joy and the unbelievable love that Klal Yisrael felt. They were waiting a year for this to happen. They left Mitzrayim, they got the Torah. Then the first luchos weren't successful. Moshe Rabbeinu had to break the luchos, and then we waited till Yom Kippur. Finally, Sukkot, we started collecting in order to build the Mishkan, and finally the Mishkan is ready. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, wait, it's not time yet. Finally, it's Rosh Chodesh Nisan, it's the Yom HaShmini, it's the greatest day. And Moshe Rabbeinu warns Klal Yisrael, Vayom Moshe, Zeh hadavar shesiva Hashem tasu v'yer lechem kved Hashem. This is what you should do, and then there will appear the kved Hashem, the glory of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teres Kainim cryptically comments on this pasuk. Says, what is the Zeh hadavar? What was Moshe referring to specifically? This thing you should do. Teres says, be careful from that Yetzer Hara. Oisa Yetzer Hara. From that Yetzer Hara, be very careful from. Teres does not explain which Yetzer Hara. Schwab in Ma'am Beis Sheva, he says, we have a clue, we can find a clue of what Moshe Rabbeinu was referring to if we understand what happened after that. What was the mistake that occurred that we read in the Torah? We know that Nadav and Avihu brought ha'esh that they weren't commanded to bring. A foreign fire that they were not commanded to bring. And this began a whole chain of events. The death of Nadav and Avihu, obviously a terrible tragedy on the day of Simcha that occurred in the Beis Hamikdash, in the most holiest place, in the Mishkan, in the holiest place, on the holiest day, in the greatest Simcha, the death of Nadav and Avihu. Why? Because they weren't commanded to bring that age. We find, of course, Chazal give many different explanations exactly what was the chet of Nadav and Avihu, but the Torah tells us it was a fire, it was a korban, it was a keteris that was not part of the plan. It was not a shaloi tziva. Says Rav Schwab, this is what Moshe Rabbeinu was warning against. Moshe Rabbeinu understood very, 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 very well that it was a day of Simcha. It was a day when all of Klal Yisrael feels a tremendous ava to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they want to show how much they want to become close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They want to do whatever they can. But there's rules. There's limitations. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, and Moshe Rabbeinu said, Zeh hadavar, be careful from this, the Yetzer Hara of Simcha, the Yetzer Hara of Ava, the Yetzer Hara of wanting to do everything possible to show our love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's a Yetzer Tov. Of course, that's a wonderful thing. But it also has within it, Oisa Yetzer Hara, also has within it this Yetzer Hara, says Rav Schwab, of going out of the boundaries and doing what they're not supposed to do. One of the explanations that Chazal give, what was the chet of Nadav and Avihu, was that they were Meir Halacha Lifnei Rabbam. Moshe Rabbeinu was there, and they decided themselves to bring this korban without asking, without consulting with Moshe Rabbeinu. Says Rav Schwab how beautifully this fits in with the whole narrative. We know in the Torah we read about two other incidents where people took the initiative, and in one case they were praised for it, and in one case they were criticized. Shimon and Levi came, they realized what Shechem did to Dinah, they took the initiative, they wiped out the entire city, they come back to Yaakov, they're expecting to get an applause, and Yaakov even says, Achartem, why'd you do that? You embarrassed me in front of the entire people of the... And Shimon Levi says, wow, we should let that pass without anything. There's no answer for that. I heard once from Rebellious Shvei, what was Yaakov's answer? Yaakov's answer was, but I'm here, why didn't you ask me? Why didn't you ask me? Why didn't you ask the Gadol Hadar, your father? He knows, he has a little more experience, he can tell you, this is what you should do, all you have to do is ask me, I would have told you, this is the proper response, this is the improper response. You took the initiative, excellent, you're showing your ava, you're showing your eish kina, your tremendous revenge that you want to take because they defiled your sister, that's all good. But come and ask me, just come and ask me, I'm here. On the other side, we find Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. He sees a terrible thing happening. He has an eish kina in front of him. The Torah itself says that it was an eish kina, it was MS. But before he does anything, he asks Moshe Rabbeinu. Chazal say he asks Moshe Rabbeinu, what should we do? Moshe Rabbeinu says, crying in the Igros, so you're the one who came up. You were the one who reminded me of the halacha. You go and do it. Unbelievable. You did the right thing. Now that you decided to do it and you asked me, then the right thing to do, then that's what you should do. Then that's what you should do. This was the chet of Nadav and Avihu, that with their ava and their simcha, that they want to do the right thing. But this is a danger. This brings with it a danger of Yetzer Hara, of going out of the boundaries, and therefore the rule and the way to protect yourself from this Yetzer Hara is not to be Mar Aloch L'fnei Rabbah. We have people that we could ask. We know what we're supposed to do. They see things that we don't see. You have an Ava, you have a Simcha, you want to do something. Just make sure that you're not going out of the boundaries, that you're doing within the boundaries. How do you do it? You ask Moshe Rabbeinu. You ask the Talmidei Chachamim, you ask the Tzaddikim of every dar. Make sure that you ask them, consult with them, and then what you do is proper. Famously said over, Rav Schwab brings, he says he heard it from a Makar Neman, that when the Rav Chaim Volozhin wanted to open the yeshiva, it's famously said, came to the Vilna Gaon and he said, I want to open a yeshiva just like it used to be in the times of the Bali Tosfos, in the times of the Rishonim. We know they had yeshivas, I want to open like a big yeshiva like that. And he saw that the Vilna Gaon was not so excited about the idea, so he didn't do it. Some time passed and the Vilna Gaon met Rav Chaim and he says, no, did you open your yeshiva? And he said, I understood that the Rebbe was not so excited about it, so I'll tell you the truth. I was a little worried. You were so enthusiastic that I was worried maybe something here is not right. And I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I should give you my blessing or not. But now that I see that you didn't do it until you heard from me clearly that it's the right thing to do, so now it's a kosher of a yashar, and now for sure you should open the yeshiva. Please don't forget to subscribe. You'll get the video every week by subscribing. Put a like. Thank you very much. Good Shabbos.